Morning. Welcome to Headlights in Bed. Today is Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021 already. Thank you for joining me. Good to see you. Um, Grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, some yogurt, make yourself comfortable. And let's get started with today's headlines. We'll start with the Washington Post. Um, and today, the Washington Post is covering live updates from the Senate summons law enforcement officials to testify on deadly January 6th Capitol riot. Um, they're showing video of that hearing. And they're going to be calling, or they are calling, former House Surgeon at Arms, former Senate Surgeon at Arms, former Chief of U.S. Capitol Police, acting D.C. Police Chief. Um, I hope that they also, as important as covering the building itself, I hope doesn't prove to be a distraction to what the root of the problem is. Where did those people who came to attack the building come from? How were they uh, evangelized, radicalized, motivated, whatever the appropriate term is, to do what they did, and how were they aided? How were they enabled? How were they encouraged? We can always build another building, but to establish and build another democracy is not as easy. Um, Moving on to activist shareholders pressing companies to disclose more of their political activity after Capitol attack. Elon Musk moved to Texas and embraced celebrity. Can Tesla run on autopilot? First Native American picked to run Interior Department faces questions at confirmation hearing. Um, Deb Haaland is the one that is being nominated. Biden faces first potential cabinet defeat as opposition grows to his chief budget official pick. Um, and of course, the unfortunate update that in the United States, more than 500,000 people have died of coronavirus. 500,000 people shouldn't have died in a country as rich and sophisticated as the US, Fauci says. In face of GOP opposition, Becerra to focus on pandemic response, health coverage at Senate hearing. Lebanese lawmakers violate coronavirus rollout plan, World Bank says. Powell to lawmakers, economy recovery still has a long way to go. Why a fake commute could pave the way to work from home balance. Opinion. No amount of disaster can shake the GOP loose from Trump. Ted Cruz's latest Cancun spin shows that the rod of GOP victimization runs deep. Merrick Garland teaches the country about racism. Now Republicans are offended by mean tweets. There is only one political party right now. Having vaccines alone isn't enough to defeat COVID-19. 44.1 million vaccinated, the number of people who have received at least one dose of the vaccine, covering 36.2% of the prioritized population and 13.3% of the total population. Why a fake commute could pave the way to work from home balance? Picadillo is the quick, hearty answer to the question, what's for dinner tonight? From a distance, NBA broadcasters are trying to make the audience feel close to the action. We've been cooped up with our families for almost a year. This is the result. Supreme Court ends Trump's bid to shield his tax returns and efforts to challenge election losses. The court refused Trump's last chance efforts to shield his private financial recourse from Manhattan's district attorney in one case, and tossed out a slew of challenges to the presidential election and his loss to Democrat Joe Biden. Canadians glad to get beyond Trump but Biden administration brings new friction. On Tuesday, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will meet with President Biden, albeit via video conference, in what Ottawa hopes will produce a reset in relations and with Canada's largest trading partner. Stephen Mnuchin expected to launch investment fund seeks backing of Persian Gulf state funds. Migrant facility for children reopens under Biden for first time. The Carrizo Springs, Texas facility, a vestige of Trump administration that was open only a month in 2019, can hold up to 700 children. U.S. arrests wife of Joaquín and Chapo Guzman on drug trafficking charge at Washington Dulles Airport. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton left Austin for Utah during power outages. Democrats say he couldn't care less about the people. Well, it seems like every other Texan leader left either for Cancun, as Ted Cruz did, or to Utah. Accidental gender reveal explosion kills an expectant father in New York. This shouldn't have happened. Accidental gender reveal explosion kills an expectant father. Wow. SNL's Michael Che said Israel only vaccinated its Jew half. Critics call the joke an anti-Semitic trope. A double lung transplant recipient got COVID-19 from her donor, report finds. She died 2 months later. Our obsession with happiness is making our kids miserable. The future of Star Wars has arrived and it takes place hundreds of years in the past. Okay. Well, with that, we thank the Washington Post, and I'm looking forward to hearing this hearing. Next, we're going to go to the Wall Street Journal. And today, the Wall Street Journal tells us that tech shares lead fall in stocks amid rising rates. I know it's been hard. A retreat in technology stocks continue. U.S. stocks lead, and investors parse Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's congressional testimony on the health of the economy. Rising bonds yields have sharpened focus on his remarks. Fed's Powell sees easy money policy staying in place. Rival drug makers team up to make vaccines. Some of the world's biggest drug makers are joining forces with rivals to help produce COVID-19 vaccines, forging unusual alliances that promise to substantially increase supplies by this summer. Novavax nears COVID-19 vaccine game changer after years of failure. Scientists believe that if authorized, Novavax vaccine could be one of the most powerful weapons against the pandemic. It would be a shift in fortune for the company, which last year was struggling to survive. Home Depot posts strong growth. Quarterly revenue rose 25% from the comparable year earlier quarter, but the company's finance chief said that the trend could flatten this year. Biden cabinet picks hit rough patch with 10 deans nomination in trouble. Top secretary officials testified in failure to blunt Capitol attack. Texas grapples with crushing power bills after freeze. What is in Joe Biden's America Rescue Plan? Iran limits access to nuclear sites but is open to U.S. talks. How public universities became so expensive. Atlantic City housing market heats up. Sheikh Yemeni, mastermind of Saudi oil supremacy, dies. Facebook reverses Australian news ban. Bitcoin and Ether prices tumble after hitting record highs. Companies put the best face on COVID-19 financial impact. Marriott names Tony Capuano as new CEO. The 25-year veteran takes over this top spot after former chief executive and president Arne Sorensen died last week, and as the hotel sector is still reeling from the effects of the pandemic. HSBC takes the slow boat to China. HSBC's much anticipated strategic update continues the bank's frustratingly slow pivot towards Asia, only with slower shareholder return. The woke model minority, migrants and the threat to women's rights in Europe. Okay. With that, we thank the Wall Street Journal, and we close today with The Guardian. Donald Trump. Ruling on tax records could be the costliest defeat of his losing streak. AOC criticizes Manchin over apparently targeting of Biden's nominees of color. Italy, Mount Etna illuminates night sky with 1,500-meter lava fountain. We're risking our lives. California's slow vaccine rollouts leaves essential workers exposed. Native Americans promote resurgence of nature's engineers. Why did Governor Cuomo give nursing homes immunity from COVID deaths? Was the corporate immunity linked to 1.5 million in political contributions from lobbyists? Only a full investigation can help us find out. Seattle Mariners CEO quits after questioning players' English skills. How do you spell what an idiot? IDIOT, I think. Okay. I think, I mean, there's a lot of really good headlines here. And we're going to close with music. Daft Punk were the most influential pop musicians of the 21st century. By resurrecting disco, soft rock, and 80s R&B and bringing a spectacle to the world of dance music, the French duo changed the course of pop music again and again. And I think the news, though not stated in the headline, is that they have split up. So with that less than a stellar headline, we thank The Guardian. I thank you for joining me today. That is Headlines in Bed for Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. The sun is out. It looks warm. Looks like it's going to be a great day. Make it so. See you tomorrow.